This deck cost me over $100 to make. Is it worth it? Hello guys and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we're talking about the fighting game style deck in Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul is the newest deck released in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and its main gimmick is utilizing monsters in the hand for their attributes, that being fire, earth, and dark, in order to gain various effects with your other monsters. Basically, every single one of the Vanquish Soul monsters has an effect on field by revealing monsters in the hand to get various different effects. For example, Raisin has the ability to protect itself from card destruction by revealing a fire, etc., etc. Right? So let's do the card by card and the rest of the explanation. So we have, starting off with the Vanquish Soul's 3 Raisin, which on normal or special adds a non-warrior Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand. Now, Raisin is the only warrior monster, which means you can basically search out any of the other monsters, which is pretty good. Then on top of that, you can reveal a fire or a fire and dark to protect from card destruction or destroy monsters in this card's column, respectively. Pretty nice. We're playing 1 Pantera, which allows you to special summon it if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, and you can quick effect reveal in order to reveal an earth or an earth and fire in order to protect from battle destruction or destroy spells and traps in this card's column. There you go. Next up, we have the Mad Love, which on normal or special searches out a Vanquish Soul trap, while revealing from the hand a dark or a dark earth allows you to reduce your opponent's face-up monster by 500 attack and defense, or return the lowest defense monster to the hand, which is non-targeted. Technically, it's non-target removal. Very good against Makonko. We then have Xiaolong. Xiaolong allows you to special summon it if you reveal a Vanquish Soul card, if you reveal a card in your hand to activate the Vanquish Soul effect, you special summon it. Then, by revealing 1 fire or 2 fires, you can change a battle position, or you can add a Vanquish Soul card from your deck to your hand. Now, notably, this is any card. This one is specifically spells and traps. This one is specifically monsters, so this one's a little bit better of a search, but it does require a little bit worse of a setup, seeing as how you have to reveal the cards. And it's specifically 2 fires. Now, it is a fire itself, which is pretty nice for that requirement. Next up, we have Hungry Burger, which Hungry Burger and Caesar Valius have a similar effect where during the main phase, they can bounce one of the monsters of a different attribute, or not attribute, a different type. So Heavy Burger is a machine, so what it does is it bounces a non-machine to the hand in order to special summon itself. Caesar Valius is a non-dragon to special summon itself. Hungry Burger then can reveal a dark to draw a card, or an earth or and fire in order to inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. And 1500 is not small. That does come up quite a bit. Next up, we have the Caesar Valius, which Caesar Valius also allows you to reveal an earth or an earth, fire, and dark in order to become unaffected by opponent's activated effects this turn, or to pop a card non-target on the field. All of which, pretty good effects, right? So that's it for the monsters. We then have Stake Your Soul, which reveals a monster in hand to special summon a Vanquish Soul of the same attribute, but of a different name. So if you reveal something like Raisin, you can special Xiaolong, and vice versa. You can also reveal an Ash or a Kurikara to get a Raisin as well, which is pretty strong. So that's why we are playing 3 of this. As for the rest of the cards, we are playing 1 apiece of the Dust Devil, which flips a card face down. We have Continue, which allows you to bring back from the grave. And then we have Snow Devil, which reveals from hand a dark, earth, or fire, or one each of each of these in order to gain various effects. We burn for damage, special summoning a Vanquish Soul, then we burn for more damage, and then protect our Vanquish Souls from card destruction, and then we can burn in order to destroy all monsters on the field. The last Vanquish Soul card is Rock the Vanquisher, which just requires any Vanquish Soul monster, cannot be used as link material, and during the main phase, you can activate one of the effects in order to either special summon it from hand or add back from grave, which is all very good. Notably, not a Vanquish Soul card. Same with Stake Your Soul, not a Vanquish Soul card, so cannot be searched with Mad Love. As for the rest of the cards, we are playing a lot of hand traps because this deck works very well with hand traps. So we're playing triple Max C, triple Ash Blossom, triple Infip. We're also playing Dimension Shifter because we don't really care too much about our graveyard. While it is nice, it's not that important. And Dimension Shifter happens to be a dark, which is very nice as well. Then we're playing also 2 Divicarnates, which is just like the best fire attribute monster that we could really use besides Ash, and besides our own monsters, so of course we're playing it. And then we're also playing Fenris because it's an earth, as well as the 1 Riseheart as a search target. As for the rest of the cards, we're playing the Rhoda. We're playing Durandal. Durandal allows us to search out the Raisin, which is pretty nice. We're also playing one Wraithsoth to search out the Fenrir, and then the 2 Called By. As for the rest, I think I said we were playing 3 Imperm. As for the extra deck, it's not too important, but it is pretty nice to have all of these cards. We have the 1 Abyss Dweller, the Exiton Knight, the Trident, Borbo, and Chakanine. We're also playing 1 Baguska, 1 Arise Heart, because we are playing the Fenris, just in case, like, they activate a Shangri Era, you can go Arise Heart into Zeus. And then we have ourselves a triple Rock the Vanquisher, the 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Dark, and 1 Underworld Goddess. So that's it for the list. Let's hop into the duels and show you how the deck performed. Alright, so here we are going first, and we're going to start off here with the planet Wraithsoth in order to grab me the Fenris. Fenris will then special summon itself, activating the effect in order to search out the second Fenrir, and the reason for this is because the Fenris is the Earth attribute, whereas the other two, since we already have the Fire, there's no real point in going for a Fire there. We're going to go for the Raisin here in order to grab up the Mad Love, and then we're going to bounce at the Raisin back to the hand for the Heavy Borger. We're going to go for the Heavy Borger in order to draw a card, and then this allows us to special summon the Xiaolong since we revealed a monster in our hand for the activation of a Vanquish Soul. Out comes the Xiaolong. Xiaolong effect will activate, revealing Raisin, as well as the Xiaolong, which are the 2 cards that we have revealed to our opponent. Actually, we didn't reveal the Xiaolong that we drew, but it's better than having them see Diff Incarnate. So now we're just going to normal summon the Mad Love. Yes, we haven't normal summoned up until this point. And now we get to go into Rock the Vanquisher. We searched off of the Mad Love, the Snow Devil, which is pretty good. And then we also searched off of the Xiaolong, the Dust Devil. Dust Devil allows you to flip a card face down, which is very good against things like Kashtira. So we're going to go for the Rock the Vanquisher in order to add back that Mad Love, set 2, and pass. Feeling pretty good. We have all of the attributes we need in hand, so I'm just going to, in the draw phase, activate the Xiaolong in order to search up the Caesar Valius, which can pop a card non-target since we have all the attributes. I'm also going to go for the Heavy Burger just to burn, because it's better than drawing at this point. My opponent goes for Harpy's Feather Duster. I guess I'll just go for the Snow Devil. I'm going to special summon the, I'm going to reveal Raisin, the Mad Love, as well as Fenris, and then we are going to special summon. We're going to special summon the Mad Love, which is actually pretty good here. I also don't elect to pop my field. That just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to do with these. But we do have the Mad Love on field, which is fine. It's more so to search out a card. I'm also going to go for the Rock the Vanquisher here, since I'm already activating something in the main phase. I've already triggered the, like a triple tack, like triple tactics talents or triple tactics thrust, so there's no real point in trying to play around that. So we're going to special summon the Raisin here, and Raisin will then search out a Heavy Burger, which then allows me to bounce with both the Heavy Burger and the Caesar Valius. My opponent is on Makonko, revealing that they are now going to grab another equip spell, which they grab the Water Dance. They're going to go for the Water Dance here and targeting our Fenrir, and I'm like, that's fine. I don't really care about that card. That card can go back to the hand. They're going to then search out the other dance, the Green Dance. I don't know which one this one's called. I'm not going to try and butcher the names. Out comes the Great Makonko Ceremony, and they are going to pitch to the grave Gale Dogra. We love Gale Dogra here. PogChamp, dude. Out comes the Makonko Ohime. We are going to then activate it. They're going to activate the Quick Play spell in order to dump to the graveyard the Fire Dance. I don't know why we're dumping Fire Dance and not this one. I think they got it mixed up, but it's not really that big of a deal. Because honestly, we're going to reveal 2 in order to bounce to the hand one of their 0 defense monsters. Mad Love allows us to just deal with that guy pretty effectively. At this point, we're also going to bounce the Heavy Borger in order to special summon the Caesar Valius, and my opponent concedes at that point. I did that a little bit wrong. I should have just special summoned the Caesar Valius, let them go to the battle phase, and then popped or bounced during the battle phase so that they can't really continue to play the game from that point. So, bit of a mistake on my part, but it ended up winning. Alright, and here we are going second with a hand, that's for certain. So, my opponent reveals that they are on Mathmech. They're going to go into the Lingaribo here. They're going to activate the Parallel Exceed, to which I will activate Shifter, just to not allow them the Graveyard, which does matter quite a bit against the Mathmech strategy. I could have activated it a little bit sooner to get this Subtraction also banished, but honestly, it's fine. They're going to go for the Alimbertion. I'm like, that's okay. Anyway, it's not okay. I'm actually going to Ash this. So, we're going to Ash the Alimbertion. Not really a whole lot that they can do. Hope that I draw something good and just proceed from there. My opponent ends the phase, or goes to the end phase. I'm like, okay, there's a chance here. And I draw probably the best card that it could have been, Stake Your Soul. We're going to reveal the Fire, the Ash Blossom, in order to go for the Raisin. Raisin will then grab up the Mad Love. And then, since we do happen to have a Fire and a Dark, we can pop the other card in our column. We're then going to go and normal summon the Mad Love to grab up the Duster, and then just proceed to the battle phase. I figured I might as well do as much damage as I can, and I feel like this is the most damage. And yes, I could have gone for a rank 4 or something like that, but I am under Shifter 1 and 2. I genuinely don't think that going for a rank 4 is going to do a whole lot, because we do have the Caesar Valius in hand. I think Dust Devil's pretty good as well, and we have a Called By, so I'm like, I think this is just better, right? Raisin's going to come back to the hand. We can use it on the following turn, and yeah, I could have gotten a little bit more damage with the Caesar Valius, but my opponent just passes. Shifter really is a heck of a card. So we're going to go and normal summon the Raisin, activate the effect in order to grab up the Heavy Burger, and then I get trolled. I'm going to Called By this. I don't need to. I literally have lethal on field. All I have to do is special Heavy Burger, special summon the Caesar, and just attack. But I'm going to style because I don't like Math Mech. So I'm going to activate the Called By here, and we are going to banish the Droll, and then I'm going to special summon the Heavy Burger in order to or then revealing 2 in order to burn for 15. We're then going to special summon out the Xiaolong, bouncing, and then just bouncing the Caesar, or with Caesar, the Raisin, and then reveal the 2 to grab Pantera. And at this point, I don't want to play into Nibiru, so I just attack. Cool, good game. Alright, and here we are going first with a pretty good hand. Seeing Fenrir is always a good thing. So we're going to start with the Fenrir. We're going to grab up the second Fenrir, because we already, well, I just want to grab an Earth here, basically. We're going to go and grab a Heavy Burger here off of the Raisin. Then we're going to link off it into Rock the Vanquisher. Rock the Vanquisher is going to activate its effect in order to special summon from the hand the Mad Love, which will grab us the Dust Devil. Here we can just set 3 and pass, and this feels pretty good. We have the Heavy Burger in hand. We also have access to Raisin in the graveyard, which can be brought back off of the Rock. And we have the Snow Devil, we have Continue, and we have Dust Devil, which feels pretty good. We also have, of course, the Fenris. My opponent is going to Shifter me, which I'm totally fine with. That's a-okay, I don't really care. Then they're going to go for the Rise Heart to go for Birth, and of course they banish not 1, but 2 1-ofs. I'm of course going to try to banish the Rise Heart, and they have it. The 1-of Crossout Designator. Kind of silly, but it's not really that big of a deal. However, then they get to go for the Triple Tactics Thrust, grabbing up the Kashtira Theosis. And I'm like, okay, that's a little annoying, but again, that's fine. We have Dust Devil for this exact reason, which is over here. And we're going to just flip the Rise Heart face down. Just flip it face down, flip my guy to attack position. Not really that big of a deal. The Theosis doesn't resolve. However, they do get to grab Birth here. And I'm like, that's fine. Honestly, I don't really care. They're going to go for the Birth, activate the effect in order to special summon out the Fenris, and then they are going to, now here we are going to go for the Rock effect. They're going to then proceed to the end phase, set a card, and then proceed to the end phase, and we're going to go for the Snow Devil here. We're going to special summon out the Raisin, and then just wipe the field. Now, notably, our monsters are protected, but only our Vanquish Soul monsters. So while Rock the Vanquisher is technically a Vanquish Soul support card, it's technically not a Vanquish Soul monster. So it dies too. Awesome. But Raisin effect does get to activate, and we get to go for the Xiaolong. Xiaolong will then, will then reveal in order to special summon the Xiaolong, and will also reveal with the Mad Love in order to bounce the Raisin back to hand. So what we're doing here is just getting this into rotation, and then we can also special summon the Xiaolong. All pretty good. We then draw for turn the Divicarnate. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. I fire the Xiaolong here, which is a mistake. Normally, I like to play during the draw phase, if I can, to play around Droll and Lockbird. However, I don't do that here, but I don't really need to worry about Droll and Lockbird nearly as much as the obvious set Imperm. Obviously, it's Imperm. That's a big mistake for me. I have Heavy Burger in hand, which can, during the main phase, bounce a card back to my hand. So, yeah, that would have been better against the Imperm. It doesn't really matter too much, but that is a bit of a mistake on my part. I'm going to go for the Raisin to grab another Xiaolong, and then bounce back the Mad Love, so that we can then, well, I'm actually going to burn, but having the Dark in hand is very nice. I'm just going to go to battle. We have well over lethal. Good game. Alright, here we are, once again, going first, and Maxi is a cool card. So we're going to start off here with the Stake Your Soul, revealing the Border, to the which my opponent will Maxi, and I feel obligated to Called By that. I don't have the best of hands, but at the very least we get nothing. Ash Blossom. Okay, I'm just going to bounce it with a Heavy Border and try and draw a card. We're going to draw by revealing the Mad Love and draw into another Heavy Border. We're going to go for the Rock the Vanquisher. I'm going to special summon the Soul Panthera, and then we are going to normal summon the Mad Love. This then allows us to go into Baguska. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it's Baguska Pass, and none of it mattered. None of it mattered. Maxi, or not Maxi, Infip. This Maxi that I have in hand isn't doing anything, so there's that. They're going to go for the Voila a la carte. I'm not going to try and say any of these Hungry Burger names. They're playing Hungry Burger. So out comes their monster. Now, I do get to choose what they end up actually searching here, but honestly, it's not really that big of a deal when they just get their combo anyway. So yeah, it's whatever. They grab up one of their ritual spells. I'm going to try and draw a card here. We draw into the Raisin, which is actually pretty good. If I survive, we're looking pretty good. They're going to go for the I don't know, the Grill. They're going to then tribute one of my monsters in order to go for Hungry Burger. I love my monsters being tributed for opponent's effects. They're going to go for the Dino Mondo, which will then shuffle away the Baguska and the Hungry Burger. And yeah, that's a lot of damage. Luckily, we're not dead. So yeah, we should be able to do something here. They proceed to the end phase, and it's now my turn. We're going to draw for turn, and we draw into the third Hungry Burger. Not Hungry Burger, Heavy Burger, same thing. I activate the Raisin. They go for the Novellus to tribute it off. Now, notably, it does target. It targets an attack position monster and tributes it, which is just silly. But yeah, I get a bounce with Heavy Burger, and they just concede. They don't really have anything. I literally think Heavy Burger. Oh my gosh, Heavy Burger just deals with that entire field. So, very funny. Good game. Alright, we're back with the deck, and is it worth the price tag of $100? Honestly, I still really enjoy this deck, and I found it very fun to play. However, not in the slightest. It was not worth the $100. Yes, it's a fun deck, but there are lots of fun decks currently in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and I really do not believe that this was so far above the rest that it was worth the extended price. Now, obviously, I could have, waited and not spent money on it, which is definitely fair. I think that's something that I normally tend to do, but this one was one that I really enjoyed and I was really excited to play, and it didn't work. I knew it wasn't very good. I said in my most recent tier list video that I do think that this deck loses actually quite a lot being a best of one. I think its biggest advantage is the ability to have such a flexible non-engine spot. Look at how many non-engine pieces there are currently available, right? You can tech in so many cards from your side deck, but when you don't have a side deck, it becomes a lot worse, right? You don't have these silver bullets against a lot of the metagame that really help you out, right? So without that, this deck is just kind of mid. Yeah, it can do stuff, and it is pretty fun to play, but it's never really competing against anything. It's rogue. Yes, you can absolutely get to Master 1 with it, but it's gonna take a lot, and it's gonna take a lot of time and effort, and probably just the best play you've ever had. This deck is not exactly the most simple as well. You need to be cognizant of the cards that you currently have in your hand and the attributes that particularly they require. For example, if you have a Raisin, maybe you need to keep in mind that it requires a Fire and a Dark in order to actually destroy cards in its columns, right? So you got to make sure that you're searching with the Raisin something like that, or that you have that card in your hand. On top of that, if you end up not seeing things like Raisin, you're just kind of doomed? Doomed? Because yeah, you kind of need access to your searches, right? If you have Xiaolong, you're able to potentially search out things like Raisin if you end up having the other fires, which is why we're playing so many fires. But there's also only so many fires. I do think, however, that this deck will get better with the Dia Bellstar / Snake Eyes engine, giving you access to just better fires, right? Being able to search out an additional level 1 fire is pretty nice. That's kind of it. I don't really see anything else being all too great with this deck, and I do think that it's more or less at full power. So, there you go. There are my thoughts. Was it worth $100? No, not at all. But that's just my thoughts. If you guys do think differently, let me know down below in the comments, and let me know if you believe that it was worth the greatest of price tags, or if it's not worth it at all, or if you just want to play it when you eventually make all of the gems yourself just by playing the game free to play. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.